Shalom. This is Paul and Yeshua. Welcome again to Rock. Yesterday, more acts of just random violence took place. And in North Carolina, a man on a boat shot at a bar and killed several people. Then, later on that day, yesterday, a person drove their truck into a church in Michigan, on the outskirts of Flint, Michigan, opened fire, then set the church on fire. Now, this person, this person did die in a shootout with the police, and the first guy was caught. What I'm not so interested in what happened to the people that did perpetuate these acts of demonically driven violence. What I'm more interested in is the people that lost their lives. Now, a lot of people understand my personal beliefs. I keep the word, and I don't believe in going to a building for church. But it doesn't mean that other people don't have the right to exercise whatever it is that they believe, as long as it's not harming other people. If a person wants to believe in Santa Claus, they can believe in Santa Claus. It don't bother me. Do I believe in Santa Claus? No. Do I celebrate Christmas? No. But am I going to infringe on another person's right to believe what they want to believe? No. But what we have today is we have demonically charged people that are being driven to do violence. And it's not just violence. There is a demonic influence that is taking over religion, that is taking over, it's always been a religion, it's taking over, people's ability to read the Bible. This demonic influence is causing people to just randomly say crazy things, do crazy things. It's causing men to leave their children. It's causing women to leave their husbands. It's a demonic charge. These people are being demonically influenced, demonically charged up, and then carrying out the acts that said demon has communicated to them. But what I want to talk about first and foremost, I know I'm supposed to be doing my continued series on the Civil War, and we will continue to go on that. I've been just really busy recently, but I will be getting back to that. What I want to say is, right now, if you were somebody living in anywhere, I would be very close attention to your surroundings. I already avoid areas where there are large groups because people seem to be targeting these groups, churches, bars, schools. These people are trying to inflict the most amount of damage, and they don't care who it is. They don't care if they're innocent. They don't care if they're elderly. They don't care if they're widows, if there's children, if there's fathers, if there's mothers. They don't care, and they're doing it indiscriminately. So they're not, targeting one person. They're targeting anybody on the other end of that barrel, which means that you have, especially men, you have the utmost responsibility right now because they are targeting your family. They are targeting your children. They are targeting the place of, we homeschool our children, but they're targeting, and this is one of the reasons why. They're targeting where your child goes to school. They're targeting where you buy groceries, where you decide you want to spend some recreational time. I don't do that. I don't go to bars, but hey, it is sick, and they don't care. It is sick, and they don't care if they traumatize you, your family. They don't care who loses. They don't care. They don't care what happens to themselves. I was reading a story. I can't remember where it took place. If you do know where it took place, please inform me. Put it in the chat and the comments. A two men ran up in a house looking for guns. And this happened last year. And they just got convicted, looking for guns, and it was the wrong house, of course. But they ended up shooting a young man on his date of birth. On his date of birth, killed him because the people had broken in the house and he was going downstairs to rescue his mom, or apparently try to save his mom. And they had shot her in cold blood while she was laying on a bed. And then they shot her son, execution style, in front of her. Now they got consecutive life sentences and yada, yada, yada. There's actually 3 men involved. One was the mastermind, and then the other 2 were the thugs that did it. But yet, that son is dead, and that woman is paralyzed. She got shot and is paralyzed for the rest of her life. What we say about that? So at this point in time, I do not ever, the Bible says, be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. But at this point in time, you better have your wits about you, and you better be willing to put in some work. And I hate saying it that way. I hate saying it where, you have to be willing to perpetuate violence to protect yourself from violence. You have to be in the time we are today. You have to be good at the potential that you have to use violence to prevent violence from being done to you. You have to be good at it. You have to be good at uh, uh, paying attention to your surroundings, knowing what's going on around you, behind you. You have to be smart enough to go into a restaurant and put your back against the furthest wall where you can witness who's coming in and out. So I see people today, they walk into places and they don't know where the exits are. You may be you need to know where your exits are. You need to know where you need to go, where you need to especially if you're taking your family with you. You go somewhere, you're taking your family with you, you think everything's okay. It's not. If you're in a state where you can't carry, why? Why? And if you're in a state where you can carry, why aren't you? And why have you not gone and gotten either some level of training, know how to, I know many men that they'll go out there and buy their woman, their wife, their girlfriend a firearm, a revolver. They'll go and get their wife who's 5'1", $110, $105. They'll go get her a 45, and she can't shoot the damn thing. She can't even conceal carry it. It's maddening to think that the carelessness, men, we have a responsibility. And the responsibility is getting bigger. And if you have not taken your responsibility serious, we have an economic crisis going on. It's driving people crazy. We have a political crisis going on. People are going crazy. We have a spiritual problem, big spiritual problem going on. It's driving people crazy. People don't care. People are running their mouths and saying just the foulest shit to eat one another. And then nobody cares. And it's all under the guise of we're telling the truth. No, all y'all lying. All y'all lying. And what's coming out of this? People are losing their damn minds. They're saying whatever, they're doing whatever, they're living whatever, and they don't care. Nothing's worse than a person who's got nothing else to lose. They're willing to lose every last bit of their life if it means causing destruction. Because that person can't be negotiated with. That person can't be bargained with. That person doesn't have their mind in a good place, in a righteous place. And people are saying, oh, mental illness. Demons. It's just demons. That's what it is. People are being influenced by demons. The love of most has waxed gross. People don't even know what it is to be a brother or be a friend anymore. Everyone's just doing whatever the hell comes to their head. Whatever voice speaks the loudest at any given point in time. That means that you have a responsibility to protect your family. And I know that's, we're not gung-ho looking to, we're not trying to play Rambo. We're not trying to, no, I know you don't want to, we try to follow peace with as many men as we possibly can. But you're in a time where if you just think peace is going to come, just because you want it to come, just because you think you deserve it, that doesn't make it so. There is an undertone that is getting louder and louder of people that are willing to do whatever comes to their mind. And what you're starting to see is it's shooting up places. Shooting up places. You got people walking around, everyday people facing the phones all day long, going to stores on the phone, don't know where their children are. Got their child in the cart and they're 15 feet down the food aisle looking for something while they're leaving their little child in the cart. not understanding that we live in a time where people will kidnap your child, and your child will be sold. By the time, I was reading an article about and talking actually I was talking to a guy, and then he gave me an article about how fast it happens when people lose sight of their child, how the chances of the child being not being found exponentially grow the moment that child leaves the other side of the aisle. The moment the child, the vision is broken between the mother and the child by an aisle, how fast it is for that child to then be out of the store. And once they're out of the store, oftentimes they're in the wind. You're looking at cameras now. You're hoping that somebody finds them alive. It's sick, and people don't care. Well, I'll call the police, and the police are there to take a report. No knock against what they do, the good ones. No knock against them. But you do understand that police respond after the crime. After the crime, you live in major cities, and it may take a while for them to respond. You live out here, and they may never respond. For those that live out in the sticks, you understand what it is. Your sheriff will tell you, hey, you better make sure you take care of yourself. You better make sure you're armed, you know how to use it, because, hey, we may be 25, 30 minutes away, 40 minutes away. There may be one officer on duty, or three officers on duty for the whole county. I'm being a little bit facetious there. There's more than three. But for a whole county, see, the responsibility lies in you. It lies in what you're able to do. It's not about relying on, oh, somebody else is going to take care of me. Women, if you're uncovered, you're seeing it. You're seeing it. You're seeing what's taking place. Oh, nothing's going to happen to me. I'm sure every single person that goes out every single day thinks that nothing's going to happen to them. And nobody believes anything's going to happen to them until it does. It's a sick world. It's getting sicker. It's only going to get worse. I said this years ago. The snowball has been going downhill, and it's gathering up speed, and it's gathering up momentum, and it's getting bigger. And the only thing that you can do is to get out of the way of the snowball. This is not a time where you're going to stop the snowball. Nothing that is done in this world is going to stop this snowball that is going downhill and just swallowing up people. People are being swallowed up by the snowball. Now it's an avalanche going downhill, and they think they can stop it. They think that they can build their house in front of the avalanche. The wise man built his house upon the rock. The foolish one built his house upon the sand. You don't want to build your life, what you're doing, in front of this of this avalanche. It's just this avalanche is going to swallow it up. You need to come out of it. Get out of its way. Come out of her. And you've got to be aware of what's going on around you daily. Daily, know what's going on around you. You can't walk around blind and stupid anymore, because it seems that violence is at the doorstep. Somebody's waiting for you to slip up. Somebody's waiting for your guard to be dropped. And even if nobody's waiting for your guard to be dropped, you just may be in a public area just trying to handle your business. You may be, at work, or you may be at the store, or you may be, your child may be at school, or you may be going to your places of church and where you go to worship, and bam, evil comes. You got churches without, security. You got it's a madhouse out there. It is a madhouse. As my brother Elcon says, stay home. And that seems to be what the answer is going to be more and more be. As these times get worse, and also as these times get worse, the economy is going to fall to shit. Because if people are afraid to go out and spend money, you're going to start seeing places of business taking a hit, and it's going to continue to snowball. Be ready if violence comes your way, and understand you may have to meet violence. If it is violence that's coming your way, you're going to have to meet it with violence, which means you're going to have to be better than they are, more proficient at stopping a threat from harming you and your family or others around you, fellow brothers, fellow sisters. That's where we are. The bigger question is, are you aware we are? Are you aware of where we are? And are you prepared to do something to protect yourself and your family? Bless you. Something to think about, because we are in some sick times.